In today's video, we are going to be going over Lotta. Now, Lotta is a character we get from the global launch event free, and even her fortifications all the way up to max, so V6 Lotta. Now, after this event in China, she is available in the shop. Now, I'm not too sure if global is going to follow suit, but essentially Lotta is pretty good as a character. She does great AoE damage, and us getting her V6 basically makes Vepley irrelevant. Vepley is good with dupes, and she will be better than Lotta if you have dupes for her, but Lotta essentially having her V6 makes her simply better than having a V0 Vepley. Lotta can insta-kill enemies because she's able to push enemies off the map. She can destroy covers as well, and her being V6 makes her AoE pretty good, comparable to any characters that are V0. I would say possibly major downsides to Lotta would be her single target damage isn't as good, and the AoE essentially does fall off later in the match, so she's kind of used for like speed clearing in stages that you are able to. But that being said, today's video is going to be Lotta's guide, so let's get right into it. So first things first, for our guides, we'll go over the skills. So Heartfelt Confession selects one enemy target 6 tiles and deals physical damage equal to 80%. Cryo Rounds, so selects one direction and deals AoE freeze damage equal to 6% of attack to all enemies within a 3x5 area in the selected direction, destroying any destructible cover outside of a 3x3 area around this unit. Additionally, applies Cold Snap to targets. Cold Snap is before moving, receive fixed damage equal to 10% of attack from the unit that applied this effect. Freeze movement debuff. So essentially, it's one of the characters that will do damage over time when they apply it to the enemy. So you want to look for stats such as attack boost, flat attack, essentially for any character, right? But this is where damage over time also starts to kick in for her. We have Neural Adjustment, fills the CI or skill points, gain attack up 1 2 turns, so a 10% damage boost, and 1 stack of Quick Barrier. Quick Barrier, targeted damage taken reduced by 60%, effective once. Then we go into our ultimate. So select one tile within 6 tiles of the user to launch an attack, dealing AoE freeze damage equal to 100% attack to it and all enemy targets within 3 tiles that ignores cover damage reduction. If it hits 2 or more targets, she will gain an extra command. So an extra command is essentially when you can use another turn. So you always want to try to use her ult with multiple enemies in it. If you do, you'll be able to use her again, and then you can apply Cryo Rounds. And then, if phase weakness is exploited, we'll apply Cold Snap to the target for 1 turn. We have Bonds of Friendship, increase mobility by 1 point when an enemy target within range is affected by Cold Snap, performs 1 instance of Wise Support. And she'll perform a support attack, dealing AoE physical damage equal to 50% of attack and 2 points of stability damage to them. This can be triggered up to 2 times per turn. So if an enemy within target range is affected by Cold Snap, she has the ability to trigger 2 times per turn support attacks. That's pretty much going over the skills for Lotta. Regarding rotations, if there is any for Lotta, yes there is. So when you are first starting off the match, you can use Neural Adjustment for the attack boost, and then following your next turn, you can then apply AoE as much as possible to as many units there, and then you'll have another turn because of extra command, and then use Cryo Round. So skill 2, skill 1, oh, there you go. Alright, next thing, let's go over the weapons and what you should look for. So our best weapon is going to be Heart Seeker. Okay, so this is Vepley's weapon, right? I have this weapon twice, and I have 2 Vepleys as well. What has the world come to? Anyways, not about me. So Heart Seeker is going to be the best weapon for her. Now there is another weapon that is usable for her, but it's not out yet, so I'll be skipping that. And then I will say the next best weapon after Heartseeker would be the Battle Pass shotgun. So, oh wait, oh no, wait, I got confused. No, this is the next best weapon. I don't know why I thought Pigeon was not in the game. Sorry about that. So the best weapon is Heartseeker, then Pigeon, and then the last best weapon that you can use for her would either be, if you are free to play, we do get her weapon for free. So if I come down here, see, if you are free to play, essentially the M1 Super 90 would be the next best weapon for her. But if you actually have Sabrina and you end up getting Sabrina's weapon, then the next best weapon would be Mezzaluna. So to dumb it down, our best weapon is Heartseeker, then it's Pigeon, and then it's Mezzaluna. You don't have Pigeon, and the next best weapon would be Super 90. Now, with that being said, let's go over the Neural Helix. Oh, well, I guess we can go over attachments since we're at the weapons. So attachments, it's just Ice Set. Could you use Phase Strike on her? It's not one of those characters you really get that much more of a benefit with Phase Strike. People did ask me, do certain characters use more elemental sets? Yes, this is one of those characters. You do want Ice Boost for Lotta. And then substats, essentially they're going to be any damaging substat. Don't look at my substats. I know they're cringe, but you want to look for attack boost, flat attack, crit rate, and then, you know, crit damage as well on your muzzle. Always crit damage on your muzzle. Now let's go into Neural Helix. So Neural Helix, her keys, she actually unlocks her last best key at level 40. But let's go over what keys are good for her. So fixed key silent share. To start battle, gain 3 CI. Okay, so 3 skill points right off the bat. Then we have Trembling Aim. If freeze damage is dealt, applies frozen to the target for 2 turns. Frozen. Movement is decreased by 1 if frozen has reached 2 stacks at the end of the action, is converted to frigid, which lasts for 1 turn, maximum of 2 stacks. Frigid is unable to move, cannot be displaced. And then our last best key is going to be at level 40, which is Bold Shout. Add a new effect to the active skill Cryo Round. Knock back the target by 3 tiles. So this is where you will unlock her knockback capability. It can be used to take people off the map and giving yourself an easier time. I would say the next best thing that you could use is Soothing Touch. So Soothing Touch, the active skill neural adjustment, gains a new effect. Gains 1 stack of Quick Barrier. Targeted damage taken reduced by 60%. So if you did not need to use or knockback, or essentially you don't even know how to use it effectively, do not use Bold Shout, and instead you can use Soothing Touch instead. So if we come down here on this left side, essentially these are the 3 best keys that you can use. Again, if you don't need knockback, you can use Soothing Touch, but if you like to use knockback, then you can use, see right here, Bold Shout. Now we can't talk about the other ones. So Confidence Booster, increase damage dealt to enemy targets with freeze debuffs by 10%. You do need a little bit more damage. Here you go. Now this would replace the last key. So these 2 keys, absolutely you should keep, but this last key here is pretty flexible on what you can switch it on. So it can either be Bold Shout, Confidence Booster, and then Careful Evasion, and it's more so you'd rather just have the which one is it? Oh, the Quick Barrier function instead. Alright, so that's pretty much going over her neural key. Then we have our common key as well. Increase damage dealt against enemy targets with a movement debuff by 7%. if you are running Lotta as one of your main DPS, you can run this on her for more extra damage, or you can choose it to run it on someone else if you're running Lotta with them. Now, as of today's video, as I'm recording this, Macchiato was announced, so this is something you can put on Macchiato if you're using Lotta in the same team for an ice DPS team. Something to think about. So I'm pretty sure that is it when it comes to Lotta. She is a pretty good character, like I said in the beginning, but she does have cons to her, like I said in the beginning as well. We will go over teams now. Now, teams for Lotta kind of varies on the team comp nonetheless. So again, Macchiato just got announced. So if you have a nice team you want to go, you can go Macchiato, Lotta, Suomi. But the last character for the ice team is actually Shungju. So there's that. Another team you can run with Lotta would essentially be a AoE team. Now, this team isn't really conventional, but if you would like to run an AoE team, it is there. So it's going to be characters like Paratia, right? Paratia is the core of the AoE team because you can spam her ult if enough like AoE dolls are in the team and if there's enough targets. So pretty much look at something like Paratia, Sabrina, and then Lotta, and then Vepley. That's like a pure DPS team. If you don't have Sabrina, probably just put Vepley in, right? I would say other than that, Lotta doesn't really have an exact placement. Again, you guys can correct me in the comment section down below if she does. But Lotta essentially kinda is just there. You can use her for knockback, essentially for specialized stages. That's sort of where you'd either place Lotta. Obviously she's good for the gold farming stage because of her AoEs, but other than that, Lotta really only would place essentially well with an ice DPS team until Dush comes out, or an AoE team with Paratia. So Paratia can have the trigger going and you run Paratia with other AoE units, so like Paratia, Lotta, Latara, Vepley, and even Sabrina. Actually, if you don't even need a healer, you just want a tank. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video regarding Lotta. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you guys want any other guides for characters, just let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I'll just pick whoever else is gonna be next. Mostly it's gonna be 5-star units. I only picked Lotta because she's out for the event right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't yet. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.